equine practitioners. And I'm running a petition to legalize horse slaughter in the United States again. There was a ban put in place in July of 2007. Would you like to sign our petition?
Wait, what? The United States used to have horse slaughter and now they don't? I'm confused.
Well, let me give you some background information. According to the Congressional Research Service, the United States exported around 17,000 metric tons of horse meat per year. The primary countries we shipped to were France, Italy, and Japan. Those products brought in over $65 million to our economy each year. Since 2002, the market demand for horse meat had been on the rise, though it was until the ban was put in place making it illegal. House Representative Bills 3161 and 738 made it illegal to use user funds or fees for the inspection of horse meat that would be used for human consumption. The killing methods used within the horse slaughterhouses have been questioned for many years. Many groups have been disturbed by the use of captive bolt pistols, followed by the bleeding out of the carcass. Other groups are still unsatisfied with the condition in which the horses are transported in, not to mention their overall state when they reach their destination. In the 111th Congress, Senate Bill 727 was introduced. S. 727 proposed to make it illegal to knowingly possess, ship, sell, receive, or transport any horse, horse flesh, or horse carcass intended for human consumption. I raise this concern to you because it is becoming an issue in our local area. The Enumclaw Plateau is home to many farms and equine facilities. And since the ban has been put in place, the unwanted horse rate has been rising in the Washington state. I ask for you to join me in legalizing horse slaughter in the United States, and if nothing else, back in Washington state. Would you like to sign our petition?
I would enjoy signing a petition today, but I feel I don't understand all the pros and cons of the issue at this time. It sounds like it would improve.
Horse slaughter is animal abuse. Don't let them fool you. I'm Annie Berkland and a member of People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. PETA has more than 3 million members in the United States, and we concentrate on saving the animals that are being treated cruelly around the world.
I hope the animals don't get put into any more pain than they're already in. What's it like when they get sent to slaughter?
What people need to understand is that when these horses are sent to the slaughterhouses, they spend their last few days being trucked across the United States, and in some cases don't have any food or water for days. In an article from the Humane Society of the United States website called The Facts on Horse Slaughter, I read that undercover footage from inside these horse slaughter facilities showed how horrendous they were. Some horses were conscious when they were shackled by a rear leg and hoisted up in the air to have their throats cut. There was a history of animal cruelty at these plants, including employees whipping horses in the face and horses giving birth on the killing floors. Slaughter is not euthanasia. It is a brutal and terrifying end for these horses. We should not let them be subjected to an end like this, inside or outside our border.
Incidents like those are few and far between. I mean, come on. I'm Sam Haney. I own many horses on Green Acres Thoroughbred Farm in Enumclaw, Washington. What a lot of people don't understand is that just because horse slaughter is no longer allowed in the United States, it is still legal to do so in other countries such as Canada and Mexico. The Government Accountability Office reported that the ban had depressed prices of horses by over 83%. The owner of older horses had no way of disposing of them, aside from selling them to foreign slaughter facilities where U.S. humane slaughter protections did not apply. As a result, horses are not only trucked much further than what is necessary, they are also subject to mistreatments that would not occur here within our borders. If the ban were removed and slaughter brought back to the States, the horses would be put through a much more humane experience.
Well, I'd much rather see a horse be trucked to someplace in the state rather than traveling for days to another country. I just don't see why we need to send them to horse slaughter to start with.
Although Americans don't rely on horse meat or other horse products gained by slaughter, our horse market is dependent on those slaughter facilities. In 2006, our horse market was going strong. The average cost to buy a horse was then $15,000 for the average thoroughbred yearling. In 2006, the ban was put in place. The cost to buy a horse then was $2,500. I know a lot of people raise horses just as backyard pets, but for people like me, horses are a way of life. It's how we make our money, to pay bills, and simply to survive from. Once a horse gets into the later years of their life, they become pasture pets due to lameness and other causes. Not a lot of people want to spend money buying horses that'll do nothing but sit around eating up over $1,500 worth of food every year. We have no place to send these horses and no one to sell them to. This ban is hurting the farmers, the horse breeders, and the horses people have no money to support. Please join me in signing against this petition.
As you heard from Annie, it seems that the hauling of horses can be dangerous, but right now they're being hauled much further than what is necessary. As Sam pointed out, he depends on horse slaughter to properly and successfully run his operation. Would you like to sign our petition?
Wait 1 second. There is no such thing as an unwanted horse. My name is Rebecca Blake, and I work as an equine therapist. Equine therapists work to improve the mind, bodies, and spirits of children and adults through equine-assisted therapy. One of our business partners, Little Bit's Therapeutic Riding Center, which is located in Woodinville, Washington, states on their website that these programs provide life-changing benefits, such as strengthening muscles, decreasing bone weakness and joint dislocation, improving balance, and enhancing hand-eye coordination. Someone is always looking to add a horse to their life. If people cannot afford to feed or care for their horses, then they should send them to animal shelters, which our tax dollars already pay for. These shelters allow horses to live a full, healthy life without the result of being slaughtered.
Well, I must agree. In my opinion, human health should come before animals' health. Using horses to help the human and save the horse's life sounds like a better idea, but has it been proven?
Franklin Levinson from Equine Facilitated Learning has said that it has been proven just being in the vicinity of a horse changes our brainwave patterns. He goes on to say that horses have a calming effect, which helps to stop people from becoming fixated on past or negative events, giving them an overall positive experience. This is why horses are not unwanted. If they are too old or too lame to ride, people can still benefit from being around them. No horse should be sent to slaughter.
Hi, I'm Levi Norton, and being a livestock auctioneer, I've been around the horse market for many years. Just the other day, a good friend of mine, Ronald Mariotti, commented on the condition of the horses for an interview in the Seattle Times. Ron said, "I see a lot more skinny horses come to market, a lot more horses that are off flesh come to market. People can't afford to feed them." I have to agree with him. After a veterinarian who examined the horses at the sales barn said they were very thin, had lice, mild to moderate rain rot, and were in need of dental care. This statement also goes to show that the mares also had lower than normal body temperatures, most likely due to malnutrition, and 2 of the horses had heart disease.
It sounds like a better idea than just letting the horse live its last few years suffering. I can't stand to think that an owner could just watch their horse slowly die in their backyards. But how can we keep the unwanted horse rate down and still avoid sending them to slaughter?
According to the American Association of Equine Practitioners, the average cost to feed a horse for just 1 year is $2,340. That price does not include vet and farrier costs, not to mention that the hay cost is rising fast and fluctuates with the market since it's a commodity product. The biggest problem is that the average horse can live to be about 30 years old. People usually can't care for them that long, resulting in unwanted or abandoned horses. The best way to help these horses is by sending them to slaughter. We used to use horse meat to feed our zoo animals in America. We used to use horse meat to feed our zoo animals in America. We used to use horse meat to make products that include ink, cement, polish, and many others. Bringing back horse slaughter would in fact help our economy get back on its feet by creating new jobs for people.
As Rebecca said, horses can be used in facility centers. But Levi has a good point about the horse's health. The horses are suffering and can be used in many other ways. Would you consider signing our petition?
You know, if this is going to help American families get back on their feet by us supplying them with jobs, it seems well worth it to me.
Hold on a moment, ma'am. My name is Cole Snyder. I own and operate the Rocking S Equine Transportation Company out of Enumclaw, Washington. I'll have you know that at the time this ban took place, there were only 3 major horse slaughterhouses operating in the United States. Of these 3, 2 of the plants were located in Texas: the Dallas Crown out of Kaufman and the Beltex Corporation out of Fort Worth. The only other remaining slaughterhouse, Cavell International, operated out of DeKalb, Illinois. Now, all three of these plants are located in the Deep South. And as an equine transporter, I can tell you that it is a ridiculously expensive process to ship any animal so far away from our state of Washington just to be slaughtered. But put distance aside, accidents are all too common on the road, especially with the large capacity double-decker trailers used by most slaughterhouses. In fact, in an article by the Humane Society on the transportation of slaughter-bound animals, these trailers were quoted as forcing animals into unnatural stoop positions. In that same article, a recall event in 2007, where a double-decker trailer was headed to a slaughterhouse in Illinois, Cavill International. The driver ran a red light and the trailer was overturned. Even after working for 9 hours, all the horses still couldn't be freed. 5 horses died on site, and an additional 6 died from injuries later on.
Wouldn't 3 horse slaughtering plants still create a lot of new jobs?
That may seem like a good idea, but the average slaughterhouse, depending on the size, employs anywhere from 50 to 130 employees per plant. And these aren't high-end managerial positions. They are low-end, poor conditioning, average or minimum wage paying jobs. The average slaughterhouse worker is paid under $30,000 a year. So take a step back and look at the big picture. That's less than 400 jobs being created at the cost of thousands of horses' lives. Horses have served humans for thousands of years. It is absurd to think that this is how we will repay them.
We've had many people talk about this issue today. Andy started us off talking about the horse's journey, starting with transportation all the way to being slaughtered. Sam pointed out that he depends on the slaughterhouses to properly and successfully run this thoroughbred operation while still maintaining a profit. Rebecca, an equine therapist, said that the horses could be used in equine facilities, benefiting both horses and humans. Without having slaughterhouses, auctioneers like Levi are seeing a lot more skinny and unwanted horses come to market. Last to speak today was Cole. He brought up that the horses do not benefit from being sent to slaughter because of the poor conditions that they're forced to be in. Now that you've heard the facts, I hope you understand why I started this petition. Horse slaughter has helped our economy in many ways, bringing in new money and other things. The ban is hurting. We've been slaughtering horses for many years, and since the ban has been put in place, many people are hurting. I hope you see my side, and I urge you to sign our petition.
I've listened to both sides of the argument and taken each side into consideration. I'm sorry, but at this time, I don't feel comfortable committing myself to sign a petition. I feel leaning towards or against horse slaughter in the United States with a bigger decision than I thought earlier today.
What would you do?
Shoot 'em.